My fiancée asked me for a break so she could sleep with her ex, and she expected me to wait for her. Not fight her. Not leave. Wait. Like I was just another option she could come back to if things didn't work out. She said it calmly, like it made sense, like it was something I should understand if I really loved her. We had been together for 4 years, lived together, built a life that felt stable enough to trust. I had already asked her to marry me, and she said yes without hesitation. And now she was sitting across from me, telling me she needed time to figure out if I was actually the right choice. Not because I did something wrong, not because we were falling apart, but because she wanted to see if there was still something between her and the guy who cheated on her. And the worst part wasn't what she said. It was how confident she was that I would accept it, that I would stay exactly where she left me while she went to explore something that should have been over years ago. I didn't interrupt her. I didn't argue. I didn't even react the way she expected. Because in that moment, something became clear in a way it never had before. This wasn't confusion. It wasn't fear. It was a decision. And once someone decides to treat you like an option, the only thing that matters is what you do next. Looking back, the signs weren't dramatic. That's what made them dangerous. They were small, easy to ignore, easy to explain away if you wanted things to work badly enough. At the beginning, everything felt right. She was confident, decisive, the kind of person who made you feel like she knew exactly what she wanted. That certainty was what drew me in. We moved in together after a year, built routines, shared responsibilities, created something that looked stable from the outside and felt even more real from the inside. And for a while, I believed it was. But then things started to shift in ways that didn't feel like problems at first. Her excitement about the future faded. Conversations about the wedding became shorter, easier to postpone, less important to her than they used to be. She stopped asking questions about plans we had already made, like she was slowly disconnecting from something she had already decided she might not commit to. And every time I noticed it, she had an explanation ready. Work stress, timing, pressure, something temporary. I accepted it because it was easier than asking what it actually meant. Then there were the smaller details. The way she smiled at her phone when she thought I wasn't paying attention. The way certain names came up and she reacted just a little differently. Not enough to confront, but enough to notice. I didn't push, not because I didn't see it, but because I didn't want to turn suspicion into reality. And that was my mistake. Because patterns don't disappear when you ignore them. They just become decisions you weren't prepared for. The night she said it, there was no build-up, no argument leading into it, no emotional tension that forced it out. She just decided it was time. We were sitting in the living room. Nothing unusual. Nothing that should have turned into the moment everything ended. And then she said she needed space. Not from stress. Not from life. From us. I remember thinking I misunderstood at first. Like maybe she meant something temporary. Something normal. Then she said his name. Dylan. And suddenly everything made sense in a way I wish it hadn't. I asked her what she meant, even though I already knew. And she explained it like she had rehearsed it. Like she had been thinking about it for a long time. She wanted to see if there was still something there. To make sure she wasn't making the wrong decision by staying with me. Staying with me. Like I was already a choice she was questioning, not the person she had agreed to marry. And then she said something that changed everything. If it doesn't work out, I'll come back. Just like that. No hesitation. No awareness of what that actually meant. She wasn't asking for space. She was asking me to step aside while she explored another option, with the expectation that I would still be there if it failed. I didn't feel anger the way I thought I would. It was something quieter than that, something clearer, because in that moment, I finally understood my position in her life. not a partner, not a priority, a backup. And if you've ever been put in that position, you already know how fast everything shifts. Because it's not about what they say after that. It's about what they've already decided before they said it. If you've ever realized you were never the first choice, you already know that's the moment you stop competing. I didn't argue with her. That was the part she didn't expect. No raised voice. No questions. No attempt to convince her to stay. I just sat there and listened. Like what she was saying didn't change anything. And for a second, I could see it in her expression. Confusion. She was waiting for a reaction. Something emotional she could respond to. Something that would keep me inside the conversation. But I didn't give her that. Because the moment she said those words, there was nothing left to discuss. She thought this was a pause. A temporary situation. Something we could come back from once she figured herself out. But I already knew that wasn't true. You don't pause a relationship to test another one. You end it. You just don't always admit it out loud. She kept talking, explaining how this wasn't about me, how she just needed clarity, how she wanted to be sure before committing to the rest of her life. And the more she spoke, the clearer everything became. This wasn't confusion. It was certainty. She had already made her choice. She just wanted to keep me available in case it didn't work out. When I finally responded, my voice was calm, almost detached. I told her I understood, that if she needed space, she should take it. She hesitated, like she wasn't sure how to react to that. Like she expected resistance, not acceptance. But she didn't question it. She packed a bag, said she would stay with her mom for a while, told me this wasn't permanent, that we would talk soon. I nodded like it made sense, like I would still be there when she came back. And then she left. The door closed, and the silence that followed felt different. Not empty, clear. Because for the first time, I wasn't reacting to what she wanted. I was deciding what I was going to do next. The next morning, I didn't think about her. That part was already decided. I focused on what needed to be done. The house was the first move. She liked to call it ours. Talk about the things she picked out. The colors. The furniture. The details that made it feel like home. But legally, it was mine. Completely. So I called a realtor and listed it that same day. No hesitation. No delay. The market was strong, and within hours, there were already people interested. Then I started removing everything that connected her to my life. Not emotionally, logically, efficiently. Her clothes, her personal items. Everything she left behind was packed carefully into boxes. Not out of respect, out of finality. Because those things didn't belong in my space anymore. I hired a moving company and had everything delivered to her mother's house with a short note. No explanation. No conversation. Just a clear message she couldn't ignore. After that, he handled the rest. Shared accounts closed. Passwords changed. Subscriptions canceled. Every connection between us removed one by one. Not dramatically. Quietly. And when people started asking questions, I didn't create a story. I didn't defend myself. I just told the truth. She wanted to explore another relationship before committing to ours. I decided I wasn't an option. That was enough. The story didn't need anything else. It spread on its own, faster than anything I could have controlled. And the more it spread, the less control she had over how it looked. Because when you stay calm and stick to facts, people don't question your version. They accept it. She came back faster than I expected. Not confident. Not certain. Not in control the way she was when she left. This time, she looked different. Unstable. Like something didn't go the way she thought it would. Dylan didn't change. He didn't become someone better. He was exactly who he had always been. And suddenly the option she thought she had wasn't an option anymore. She showed up trying to explain, trying to slow everything down. Like if she talked enough, she could undo what she had already done. She said she made a mistake, that she needed to be sure, that now she knew, and I listened. Not because I cared about what she was saying, but because I wanted to see if anything about her had actually changed. It hadn't. Because someone who treats you like a backup doesn't suddenly learn to value you. They just run out of better choices. When I told her it was over, she didn't understand at first. Not really, because in her mind, this was always temporary. Something she could come back from. Something I would allow. She started crying, asking how I could throw everything away so easily. Like she wasn't the one who did that the moment she asked for the break. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. Because there was nothing left to explain. Some decisions don't create problems you can fix. They create endings you have to accept. And this was one of them. When I walked away, I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel satisfied. I just felt done. Because in the end, I didn't lose anything. I removed myself from something that was already over the moment. She treated me like an option. If you've ever been someone's backup plan, you already know the strongest move you can make is to disappear completely.